Today we are going to start a new chapter, chapter number 5, doing sociology, research method. So there are different methods for sociological studies and we are going to consult those methods in this chapter. Before starting with the methods, let us introduce the things. The truth involved in a problem can be found only by following systematic study, by following different steps. The type of steps to be applied depends largely on the approach. So there are certain approaches, and in accordance to the approach, different methods are there to find out the solution of a particular problem. And for that, a systematic study is to be done, where different steps are to be followed. An approach in the society is a way in which a person starts looking at social facts, social phenomena, or social behavior. So, an approach in the society is how a person starts looking at the social facts and the social phenomena or the social behavior, etc. An approach is accompanied by appropriate concepts and theory or theories, methods and techniques, and each and every approach is concerned with accompanied by different concepts, theories and methods and techniques for studying society. A method is the way of approaching a problem. By method, a problem is approached. Techniques are different from methods. Techniques are different from methods. Techniques are merely means and differ as per nature of the subject. They are the way how the study is to be conducted, and for different matters there are different techniques. They are a way of collecting data, whereas methods relate to research as a whole from beginning to end. Methods deal with the research, that is from the beginning till the end, till the results have been found. Methods are always original, broader and superior to techniques. Methods are superior to techniques. The methods used in the study of sociological phenomena are historical, comparative, scientific, statistical, inverse, deductive, and sociometry, etc. But the techniques employed in collecting data in sociological studies are observation, interview, questionnaire, survey, case study, etc. So these are the techniques which we are going to study in detail. Sociologists move beyond guesswork and common sense knowledge to know what social reality is. So a sociologist will not only depend upon the knowledge that he possesses, but he will go far in more details about the social reality. Sociology explanations are therefore based on empirical research. Empirical research refers to factual inquiry carried out in a given area of sociological study. And in sociology, empirical research is taken into account, and empirical research is the inquiry about the facts in detail in sociological studies. Research process involves a number of distinct steps, starting from where the investigation is begun to the time when its findings are published. So the research process starts from the investigation, from the beginning of the investigation, and ends when the findings, the results are published and communicated to the persons. The research process involves the following steps. Number 1, selecting a topic and defining a problem. It relates to what a sociologist wants to know about. That is, the problem that he wants to study is to be known. The selection may depend on the sociologist's personal interest. The selection of the topic should be based on the personal interest of the sociologist about the relevance and even availability of fund. Whether that particular problem is a relevant problem or not, and how much funds are available with the researcher. The selected topic is defined in the form of a problem, a puzzle, a question. This puzzle represents a gap in knowledge or understanding. The second step is review of secondary literature. Here the sociologist familiarizes himself or herself with the existing literature on that particular topic. This literature can be in the form of books, journals, studies, newspapers, articles, etc. And it helps the researcher to proceed in his research work, to prepare his own research questions, and also helps the researcher to make his own questionnaire, and as well as the interview questions. Then the third step is formulating the hypothesis. Hypothesis is an educated guess about what is going on, that what the sociologist is doing, and when he will do, where he will do, all these things. The hypothesis tries to answer all these questions on all these questions before the data collection, on the basis of the secondary review of literature, whatever literature he has studied about that particular problem. The factual material gathered will provide evidence either supporting or disapproving. Then the fourth step is choosing the research method. Now the sociologist will choose the research method that he will adopt for his research work. There are a number of methods and he has to choose one of them. For choosing the methods, the following factors he has to keep in his mind. Number 1, the nature of research question being asked. That is the problem that he wants to study. The time and resource available to research. How much time, what is the time limit of the research work, and what are the resources that are available with the researcher. Then size of community that needs to be studied. What is the size of the community? Either it is a group or an entire community. Preferences of the researcher. While some researchers are more comfortable with statistical method and others are more comfortable with anthropological method. Now, which type of method the researcher prefers, that will also be taken into account. The fifth step is collecting the data and recording the information. The researcher will now start collecting the data which is valid and reliable in his point of view, and it should be valid to the problem that the researcher wants to find out and wants to get an answer to. Sixth step is analyzing the research. It is at this step that the hypothesis is tested. Analyzing of the result requires scientific technique ranging from statistical analysis to content analysis. and then the testing of the hypothesis by different methods will be done. Sharing the result. After the final report is being prepared, a report is prepared or written or published and is shared with other social scientists. This stimulates idea for further research. Now there are different types of research. Number one is micro method. It is designed to work in small, intimate settings, usually with a single researcher. A single person will study a very small unit or in intimate settings under the micro method. Then the macro method. It is designed to tackle large-scale research involving a large number of respondents and investigators. So, where the research is of a large number of population. Population means large number of where the area of study is a bigger one. There the macro method is used. Then primary research. It is designed to produce fresh or primary data. For example, by the help of interview method, primary data can be obtained. Then secondary research. It relies on secondary or already existing data, that is documents and other records and artifacts which can be obtained from archives if historical method is applied. Then quantitative research. It deals in countable or measurable variables such as proportions, averages, and many other. Its example is survey. Then qualitative research. It deals with some abstract and hard to measure phenomena like attitudes, emotions, values. Examples of it are interview, observation, content analysis, or paintings, advertisements, etc.